Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Symphony Privet. New tonight, one of the state's most sanctified pieces of property is in desperate need of expansion.
Yeah, the Connecticut Veterans Cemetery is running out of places to bury our state's fallen heroes. Fox 61's Matt Karen is in Middletown to explain why the plan to make more room is running into roadblocks.
The State Department of Veterans Affairs says they've been doing everything to try and make this current property work, including building more above ground final resting places like mausoleums and columbariums. The neatly arranged rows of limestone mark the final resting place for Connecticut's bravest men and women.
It's a very special place.
But the Connecticut Veterans Cemetery is running out of room.
There are currently fewer plots available than there are veterans living in Connecticut.
In a statement, the Connecticut Department of Veterans Affairs said it is experiencing usage rates that will reach capacity in 2027. The current property cannot accommodate. There's plenty of land available, including at the adjacent Cavalry Cemetery. But instead, the city wants to sell 90 acres of open space that's about a mile and a half that way. And not everyone is happy about it.
Clearly, this is a blatant use of leveraging the veterans to try to do a land grab.
This nearby property owner wanted to remain anonymous, but told Fox 61 the process hasn't been transparent, and he thinks he knows why.
I think this land is not just about talk for a cemetery. I think they're talking about maybe putting a prison in here. Who knows? But once it's given over to the state, it's out of our hands.
You see, that 90 acres is adjacent to the Whiting Forensic Hospital for the criminally mentally ill. In 2022, state lawmakers passed a bill to replace the aging facility. Neighbors also have concerns that chemicals like formaldehyde used in the embalming process could leach into the aquifer that recharges the city water supply.
There have been no reports of any leakages or environmental concerns.
Ken McClellan is a retired lieutenant colonel and runs the Greater Middletown Military Museum. He told Fox 61 it's crucial to find land in the immediate area.
There are veterans who have relatives there. So to close this one, open another one, means those families are going to be in different cemeteries.
The good news is that 90 acres of city-owned open space might not be the only option. This map shows two privately owned adjacent expansion parcels that could double the size of the current cemetery.
There's ample land right next to the cemetery. Why aren't they doing that?
Just a matter of finding the reasonable compromise.
We reached out to Middletown Mayor Ben Florsheim to ask what the next move is after this plan ran into such resistance at the last Common Council meeting. We have not heard back from him. There are only 738 plots remaining in this current cemetery. Reporting in Middletown, Matt Karen, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Already turning to the weather now, a much nicer day out there, and the cooler temps came back, but the big question is, will they stick around?
Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frayne joining us now. Rach, we kind of have a variety of temperatures on tap, don't we?
Yeah, the chill will continue to settle in for Friday into this upcoming weekend, but by early next week, we are again seeing temperatures rise into the 40s and 50s, and yes, another round of rain in store eventually, but we get a break the next couple of days. It's been a long time since we said we get a break from the rain because, it hasn't rained a lot. Winds out of the west, gusts anywhere between 19 to 25 miles an hour. And while it will remain at least a little bit breezy as we head through the evening and into the day tomorrow, the wind is at least on the downhill. Right now, temperatures are in the upper 20s in Waterbury, mid 30s in Hartford, and 32 the current temperature in Chester. But keep in mind, with the breeze, it's really making it feel like the 20s and teens. So if you're heading going out to walk the dog, keep that in mind when you're trying to figure out what to wear. Here's a look at those wind chills staying in the teens as we head towards daybreak tomorrow. Overnight lows will be dropping back close to 20 as we head towards daybreak, and we're looking at blue skies from start to finish tomorrow. But yeah, definitely feeling like winter, which is appropriate for this time of year. Highs in the low to mid 30s and feeling like the 20s with that little bit of a breeze. And then we'll talk about that warming trend as we head into next week and time out more rain for you as well. Your full forecast, including a look ahead at this weekend, coming up.
All right, sounds good, Rachel. Thank you. New tonight, a reward is being offered for information in a hit-and-run death of a Hartford city clerk. The governor's office and the New London DA have put up a $10,000 reward for information about Noel McGregor's death. He was hit on Route 2 in Colchester in October, and he died from his injuries after a month in the hospital. If you know anything, give state police a call. Information will be kept confidential.
A Fairfield man is facing voyeurism and sexual assault charges tonight. Ralph Mitro was arrested yesterday. Police say the arrest comes after an online tip involving child sex abuse images. Miro was arraigned this morning, and he's being held on a $1 million bond.
New tonight, police are investigating after a student brought a pellet gun to an elementary school in Griswold. The district superintendent sent out a letter saying no one was in immediate danger and that there are no safety concerns. State police were notified.
The Wethersfield DMV opened its doors a little later than usual today because of a bomb threat. The DMV headquarters on State Street received the threat in an email at around 8 this morning. Everyone was evacuated as the bomb squad swept the building, and about an hour and a half later, everyone was able to head back inside.
We called the state police. They proceeded by bringing bomb-sniffing dogs into the building. They did a search of every floor, every square inch of the building, and we were able to have our employees and customers back into the office by 9:30.
Police are now investigating where that threat came from.
Waterbury police arrested someone in a hit and run that injured 2 women. Melanie Caminero is accused of hitting a 20-year-old and a 21-year-old on Walnut Street on October 10th. The 21-year-old is still in the hospital tonight. The 20-year-old was released. Caminero is being held on $1 million bond. And a man accused of killing an Ansonia mother of 3 with an axe was found not guilty by reason of insanity. Jamil Zielinski was charged in the death of 34-year-old Grace Zielinski. A court found that he did commit the crime, but he was found not liable due to his mental state. The Psychiatric Security Review Board will now need to prepare a report on Zielinski's condition and recommendations. The court will hold a hearing to discuss that report in February.
Earlier today, Connecticut paid final respects to the Honorable Thurman L. Milner. He was the first black mayor of Hartford and all of New England.
He lay in state at City Hall this morning. Fox 61 political reporter Emma Wolfhorst has more on his life and legacy.
Former Mayor Milner passed away 2 weeks ago at the age of 91. He left behind lasting influence of positive change here in Hartford.
I'm Thurman L. Milner, Mayor of Connecticut's capital city of Hartford.
He was an accomplished activist, politician, author, and trailblazer.
This is a place I love, this is a place I'll be. Being raised in Hartford, being raised basically in poverty. If I can do it, there's no reason why they can't.
Milner grew up in the city's North End and became Hartford's first black mayor, serving from 1981 to 1987.
First of all, no one thought I was going to win, but I decided to run.
Milner also served as a state representative and state senator and was a former president and lifetime member of the Greater Hartford NAACP. The group says his legacy as a civil rights icon, community activist, and dedicated public servant will forever be etched in the history of our state.
I was only 10 years old, but I can remember that day or being out there on those days in Unity Plaza.
Milner cared deeply about his city, but also fought for the interests of Hartford on a national stage.
Come to my city and other cities across this nation. Go into both our public and private sector and match the number of minorities, black, Hispanics, and women at all levels of employment with the minority population of these cities.
Milner tirelessly advocated for civil rights and social justice.
I'm from a city with a population of about 137,000.
He broke barriers and paved the way for future leaders like former state representative Kenneth Green.
I had the opportunity actually to run with Thurman Milner for what we call town committee office years ago.
Green says Milner was a mentor, a leader, and a voice for the voiceless.
We've lost a great leader, but one of the things that I think we as a community, we as people have to do is remember their legacy and remember the kind of things that they would want us to learn so that we can pass that down to others.
I just want them to know that I was proud to be mayor of the city of Hartford, where I hope and pray that I served well.
According to his family, Milner's last words were, quote, "I love Hartford. I was born, raised, and lived in Hartford. I will die in Hartford and will be buried in Hartford." In the studio, Emma Wolforst, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Alrighty, thanks to Emma for that story. New at 6, high schools across the state are wrapping up the first semester, and it won't be long until there is just one semester left for graduating seniors. I bet parents wish they could stop the clock.
They probably would, although some of them may want to be speeding up the clock. Anyway, while they may be asking what's next after they turn their tassel, one local school is pushing for college to be that next step. We sent Fox 61's Jamel Johnson to find out more.
Thermometers usually measure how hot or cold something is, but here at Connecticut IB Academy, it measures college acceptances among seniors. That's right, the hotter it gets, the more students chose higher education. As school counselor Robert Spiller honored students and their college acceptances, he thought back to how this all started.
I think we've been doing the thermometer about 10 years at least. It has grown a little bit from the way we started it.
For 10 years, seniors at CIBA who received acceptances into their dream schools gained the honor of placing the college name onto the thermometer every week. Principal Michelle Marion says it's a simple but effective way to motivate students and get them excited for their future.
When I came in and watched how the peers were cheering for the peers, and the students were really excited about where they got in or how many schools they got into, I thought, wow, this is just really something that needs to be in the fabric of what we do day to day.
Not only is it a moment to celebrate acceptances, it helps give other students the confidence to apply and get in.
They see, the seniors getting into college, and they get into all different kinds of schools. And they think, well, if they can get into school, I can too. I think that it really gives them hope to see that it can be done.
She Siddiqui has been looking forward to this moment for a long time.
I kind of got excited when they announced theirs, especially when I was a freshman, just looking at the acceptances that they got into. And they all seem really happy, so I was just really looking forward to it since then.
Savannah Hayes can only describe it as the thrill of a lifetime.
It's so exhilarating. It makes you excited to be oh yeah, when it's my turn, everyone's gonna be like, woohoo.
The thermometer is only at 20%, but they're confident the temperature will rise.
Oh, it'll be 100%, absolutely.
100%.
Connecticut IB Academy recently ranked first among schools in the state on U.S. News and World Reports, so it's no surprise that these college acceptances are piling in every day. In East Hartford, Jamel Johnson, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.